Alright, I got this question. How can I start a business in Japan? I'm from Panama and I have a question for you. How can I start a business in Japan? Is it profitable? What I need to do? If you can, make a video response about it, please. Alright, I'd appreciate it if when you ask me questions you leave your name at least so I know who I'm talking to. But anyways, have you really thought this through? Really? I mean, just imagine arriving here on an airplane and you can't read anything. Everything is in these strange picture form words. What are you going to do? How are you going to get anywhere? How are you going to understand anything if you can't read? If you can't speak the language? That's your just right off the bat, right there. Have you thought about that? But let's say you could hire somebody to stay by your side 9 hours a day while you get stuff done. Well, you might be able to cruise off a few internet friends you make. You might be able to do that. But there's going to be times when they can't be there for you. And they can't help you get things done. And you can only use that hospitality so much. But if you're really serious about starting a business here in Japan, what you need to do is hire somebody to just be by your side all your waking hours. Because if you can't read, can't speak the language, you're going to need a Japanese person who understands English to translate from English to Japanese for you. So right off the bat there, you're going to have enough money to pay their salary. Now there's something you can get called a business manager investor visa here in Japan, and I read that the requirements for that are at least I think it was 5 million yen, which is about 50,000 US dollars. So you need to prove that you have that. Then you have to do a lot of documentation and filling out applications. A lot of administrative stuff, and what you'd probably have to do, what I would recommend, is go through a lawyer to help you get that done. And I looked at a few sites, and they can take care of all that paperwork for you for about I saw one that was for about 300,000 yen, which is about $3,000. So we're talking about getting a lot of money saved up before you even start to think about starting a business here. I think what you want me to say is you can just hop on a plane, come over here, and with a few $100s just start a business. Now if you already had a visa, like a spousal visa or a student visa or a different work visa, it would probably be a lot easier to start a business. You wouldn't need to have that startup money, that 50,000 US dollars. You wouldn't have to prove that you have that. You could just you could just start with the money that you had up front. I mean, technically speaking, I do have a small business here as an English teacher. I make contracts directly with my students, and that's a small business, but I never registered that business. But I have Japanese friends who have registered small businesses, and I don't think they had $50,000 of startup money. But the point is that they had legal residence here. I have legal residence here, so that makes it a lot easier. And I think another thing you have to ask yourself at first is, will I even like life in Japan? I think a lot of people just get caught up, including myself. We think, oh, if I go to this foreign country, my life is going to be different, it's going to be better, it's going to be more exciting. And that's true. Your life will probably be more exciting. Now, whether it'll be better or not, it might seem better at first, but after you get used to the country and everything, you're still going to have to deal with issues that you had back home. Issues that probably have to do with yourself. So don't get caught up in the fantasy that coming to Japan is going to answer all the questions to your life. There's still a lot of challenges here that you're going to have to face. I think when we dream, we only dream about the positives, and we don't clearly, when you're in love with a place and this image and this dream you have, you don't want to admit, or you don't want anybody to tell you that it's going to be crap. Well, I'm trying to encourage you, but I just may be the dream crusher. But come here first, and what I would recommend is save up about 10,000 US dollars, about 1,000,000 yen, and pay for the first 6 months to a year of a Japanese language school. They'll give you a student visa. With the money saved up, you should save up enough money so that you can pay for for all your accommodations for that 6 months or the year or however long you decide to get a student visa for, so you don't have to worry about money, and live in Japan for 6 months to a year, you know, while you're going to the language school, and see if it's really the place you thought it was, if it's really the country you thought it was. And if you fall in love with it here, I'm sure there will be a way that you can find a way to make it here. And you might learn that, hey, Japan is not as awesome as I thought it was. But I hope that at least you think about some of these things that I've talked about, and don't let me crush your dreams. But hey, if you want to give it a shot, go for it, man.